This will be on Alex Pretti and the Renee Good incidents. I will do an entire article and video on many more fascism, ICE, immigration, deportation, and etc. angles. For now, this will just be about Alex Pretti and Renee Good. I want to start this off with a sentiment before going on about Renee and then ending with Pretti. Now, if Alex Pretti or Renee Good had been one of the countless thousands of innocent Americans killed by illegals and lax dim crime laws, would any leftist be marching or making sides for them? Nope, we've never seen it. Killing of Renee and Pretti were unfortunate incidents that should have never happened, but the fault lies more in the blame of the instigators like them more than anything here. Let me explain. No one would have ever even been killed had people not intentionally been interfering, impeding, resisting, clashing, doxing, harassing, stalking, following, annoying, and attacking ICE agents 24/7 for months on end. I am not glad that either of them are dead. It's sad, but it's all an unfortunate cause primarily of their actions causing fear and chaos, and also on Dims's constant divisive lies, incitement, and rhetorics that turn into treason and insurrection against law and order and our law enforcement. The left wants to get people riled up. They want to incite and do all to stop ICE and President Trump. I have proven this. They prove such. I hope Pretti and Good rest in peace. I'm sorry to those surrounding them. Our ICE officers are merely enforcing immigration law. All they do is enforce law and order and arrest criminal threats. We will secure and defend America. That is like my new political catchphrase. You will hear me say that a lot. We will secure and defend America. People baselessly label divisive lies like Nazis and terrorists to our brave law enforcement agents, and now people have been hurt by their lies. Simply do not impede, resist, clash, and interfere. Renee Good harassed, interfered, and impeded ICE agents before she ultimately got shot. In the early morning of January 7th, 2026, around 9 a.m., ICE officers were conducting an enforcement operation in South Minneapolis. Their vehicle became stuck in the snow, prompting them to call backup. Around 9:34 a.m., video footage shows Good's Honda Pilot stopped diagonally on Portland Avenue, blocking federal vehicles. Bystanders were seen whistling and yelling at the officers, the same tactic to annoy and harass, being as loud and annoying as possible. At 9:36 a.m., Good's partner is seen standing behind the Honda Pilot, filming an ICE agent with her cell phone being rowdy and interfering as well. It was around 9:37 a.m. that two ICE officers in an unmarked Nissan Titan approached Good's vehicle and ordered her to stop and to get out of the car. As one officer tried to open the door, she pressed the gas pedal with another officer directly in front of her still, ultimately hitting him and even causing minor injury. Upon such, the officer fired shots, fearing for his life and the safety of those around him. Pure justified self-defense, well within normal average police protocol and code for such encounters and situations. DHS has characterized the incident as an act of domestic terrorism, alleging she used and weaponized her vehicle to target an officer. In all of the chaos, the officer made a split-second decision that was ultimately reasonable. The agent that was hit by Good's car literally suffered internal bleeding, and no, I do not just mean a bruise. Internal bleeding and bruising are entirely different. While internal bleeding is somewhat a correct medical term for a bruise, bruises form from broken blood vessels as a result of blood pooling under the surface of the skin, whereas internal bleeding is a term for conditions ranging in severity. Internal bleeding can very easily be life-threatening. He factually suffered and was treated by doctors for internal bleeding, not a bruise. Jonathan Ross, the agent who got hit, suffered internal bleeding to the torso following the incident in Minneapolis in January 2026. As of now, no independent, detailed medical reports confirming the exact nature of the internal bleeding have been released. The same officer suffered an arm injury that required stitches after being dragged about 100 yards by a different suspect's car back in June 2025, so it is easy to see why he wasn't hesitant this time to shoot. He is a 10-year veteran of the Special Response Team. The suspect was attempting to evade arrest during an ICE operation. Both the U.S. Department of Justice and the DHS have stated that the shooting was justified and that the agent acted in self-defense. It was a pure reaction to trauma as well. Funny how both of these and all of this is happening in Minnesota, where all of the fraud was found and is happening nowhere else. Pretti failed to carry his permit as he should have been. The agent did not know that Pretti had been disarmed, which happened roughly seconds before the shots rang out into Pretti. Tons of whistlers, chaos, impeders, and an agent yelling gun, gun, gun while Pretti violently resisted arrest contributed to this unfortunate incident. He is factually no saint, and he committed felony assault on agents in the days prior. He was factually a part of a chat that followed and harassed ICE agents. He repeatedly did such, screaming in their faces and harassing them, yelling things like, "Assault me, pussies," getting in their faces. Multiple reports and video analysis suggest that Pretti's seized firearm may have even misfired while in the agent's hand, possibly causing other officers at the time to believe they were under fire. It all happened so quickly with so much noise and chaos that our frightened to death harassed ICE agents opened fire fearing for their lives. Meanwhile, other clashers and impeders resisted right next to him. Pretti's firearm is a model that has historically faced numerous lawsuits over claims of unintentional discharges. Many lawyers who analyzed the incident agree that the agent acted within reason throughout all the chaos. While many others will of course disagree, this was more unfortunate and not as justified as the Renee Good shooting in my opinion, but most law officers can tell the setting and tell that they acted within reason throughout tons of chaos to secure a fighting resisting threat. Rittenhouse was justified in pure proven self-defense and is not even comparable. He brought self-defense to a dangerous protest. He did not go armed looking to clash and get in armed altercations with ICE agents and law enforcement, forcing war against our police. Peaceful protesting is not bringing a weapon to clash against ICE agents looking for reasons to use it. That's forcing war. Pretti openly went looking for a reason to self-defend and labeled them the Nazi terrorist threats that the left want to paint them as. Pretti was seen reaching towards his holster area in slow motion footage, pulling or attempting to pull something out. Milliseconds later, he is then shot. Chaos. Stuff happens. Stop impeding and clashing with law enforcement. Pretty simple. Pretti spat at law enforcement, kicked their taillights. In my ICE article and video I will do, see that every instance of the left claiming overreach or abuse or fascism from ICE, minus the Pretti incident, are all justified and not as the left says. We should start bringing water cannons out and honestly start just arresting every single last person impeding and harassing and clashing with ICE. I mean, Pretti committed a violent felony by resisting and laying hands on law enforcement. Stop impeding and no one will be hurt. Simple as that. The only ones largely responsible for their deaths are themselves, not our brave law enforcement agents. Even if Pretti's death was not fully justified, it is one mishap in the midst of repeat chaos, not Nazism.